Hi, today's subject is lawyers and how lawyers work for the banksters to enslave humanity. To understand how lawyers in our government are all spies, you have to understand where lawyers come from. So you go to the bankster's manual to enslave humanity, and this is what it says on page 1. It says, "What has restrained the beasts of prey who are called men? What has served for their guidance hitherto? In the beginnings of the structure of society, they were subjected to brutal and blind force. Afterwards, not afterwards meaning later, but afterwards or language, they were subjected to law, which is the same force, only disguised." So what they're telling us is that all lawyers are administering that brutal and blind force against us, the beasts of prey, to restrain us and keep us enslaved to the banksters. Now, where do you go next once you know the origin of lawyers? You go to the Declaration of Independence, which tells you how to solve every problem in this country. In the last paragraph of the Declaration of Independence, it tells us this about lawyers: that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown. Now, how does that say anything about lawyers? On the surface, it doesn't. What you have to know is that the British Crown has nothing to do with the royal family. The British Crown is just another name for the banksters, and the British Crown owns the Bar Association. Every lawyer practicing on planet Earth is licensed by the Bar Association. They're not licensed by states or by governments. They're licensed through the Bar Association, which is owned by the banksters who own the British Crown. They own the Federal Reserve, and they own the TV networks so that the lawyers can go on TV and lie to you about absolutely everything, while they also present TV shows glorifying lawyers so that you will hold lawyers in some sort of esteem. So you might consider them as pillars of the community and to people who you should look up to. Now, what made them spies in our government? They weren't supposed to be in our government at all, because we absolved ourselves from allegiance to the organization that owned and controlled every lawyer on the planet. That meant we didn't want anything to do with them. Our founders didn't want any lawyers around because they understood that lawyers existed to restrain the beasts of prey, us. That's what they do. Our law in the United States is the Declaration of Independence. That's the law for we the people. To lawyers, the Declaration of Independence is like water to the Wicked Witch of the West. Lawyers are scared to death of the Declaration of Independence. They don't want you to even know that it exists. Because again, that last paragraph of the Declaration of Independence, besides telling you that we have no allegiance with any lawyer on planet Earth, tells you that our independence was declared in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, us, the beasts of prey, who by establishing the United States set ourselves free from all lawyers and from royal scumbags like kings and queens. You go further in the Declaration, and it tells you exactly what to do about it. But with a long train of abuses and usurpations, such as lawyers infiltrating our government and usurping the authority of we the people from us to make laws for us and restrain us, evinces are designed to reduce us under absolute despotism. It is our right, it is our duty to throw off such government and provide new gods for our future security. What we have now is about 200 enemy lawyers in our Congress administering that brutal and blind force against we beasts of prey by allowing the Federal Reserve to exist, to rob us and destroy our freedom. That's what those 200 lawyers in Congress are doing. That's what Mike Pence is doing, another enemy lawyer who's our vice president. That's what 9 enemy lawyers are doing on the Supreme Court. And that's what thousands of enemy lawyers dressed in black robes are doing as judges. None of those lawyers are supposed to be judges. Judges are supposed to be humans, not lawyers managing beasts of prey. We in America are supposed to be managing ourselves. We're not supposed to be managed by these enemies of humanity. And there's something you could do about it. Because as you just learned, we have the right and the duty to throw off such government, which first means remove all the damn lawyers. So what you have to do about it is this: hang Congress for treason. That's your job. That's what it tells you in the Declaration of Independence, which is the law for us. The Constitution is the law that our government servants are supposed to obey. Administered by who? Administered by you and me. We're the ones who are supposed to be overseeing our servants to make sure that they obey the Constitution. The Declaration of Independence tells us, not in these words, but in the attitude, that we are the authorities, and when our servants disobey us, we have to remove them and put ourselves back in control, back in that position of authority. If you want to do that, you have to sway public opinion. You start by doing something like this. Get your bumper sticker, put it on your car, buy extras, hand them out to your friends, and talk about this every chance you get. Our government is our enemy. The lawyers are enemies of humanity, and I explained it to you by quoting from the Banker's Manual to Enslave Humanity. Another name for that Banker's Manual is the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. Wikipedia tells you that the Protocols is a hoax. Well, no, it's not a hoax. It was written by the Rothschild family in 1773. It was updated over the years, and they purposely leaked it in 1890 through Russia after they changed the wording around so that they could put the blame for all the crimes they were going to commit against humanity on the Jews. The Protocols was not written by Jewish people. It was written by Rothschild and other banksters pretending to be Jews so they could blame Jews for the crimes that the banksters are committing against us every single day. When you understand this, maybe then you'll understand that it's your duty to open your mouth, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, talk to your children, and talk about this on Facebook and YouTube. Public opinion, with everyone in the country talking about how lawyers destroyed our freedom and established the Federal Reserve to rob us, is what's going to solve the problem. When we all talk about it, will unite to stop it. Thank you.